Hello, lovely people, and welcome to Breathing with Juane. Now, listen, guys, you would not believe, right? I actually did this podcast a few minutes ago, and it was 15 minutes long. It was so nice, and I don't know, like my computer just crashed, and nothing was saving, and I tried to save it, and it just wasn't working. And I'm just like, you know what? No matter what, I'm gonna do this because I've been putting it off for too long. And I just feel like we need to just spread some love and light and good vibes whenever we can, however we can, because that's what we need. Too much madness going on in the world. And I feel like it's time for us, those chosen ones, those ones who need to let their light shine continuously, to really open and let your voice be heard. So if you connect with me, and I know a lot of you do as already, I feel like we just need to continue that, bonding, connection, and lifting each other up in these times moving forward. Because, babes, I don't think it's going to get any better. Right? So, listen, welcome to Breathing with Juane. You know how we doing it. Keeping it light, keeping it blessed, and keeping it positive. Now, guys, I specifically wanted to get back at this podcast series because it's been a passion of mine, and I'm not gonna lie, I put it off because of a lot of things. Two major reasons. Well, yeah, a lot of life situations were happening to me after my first podcast, and I feel like we could just talk about it as life goes on and as I keep posting more. Today, though, we're going to be talking about self-love, but just before we dive into that, I just wanted to talk about it. So yeah, like just life has been happening, and I think for a lot of us, life has just been happening continuously, especially if you are in any way spiritually connected. So from the first time I released the podcast, I've just been in I've been going through so many different phases, basically, so many different shifts, and a lot of what I say to myself, and I feel like I really want to learn more, and I'm so open to learning, but I do know there's a lot that I've learned already, and I also want to share with those of you who are open to learning about yourself, spirituality, sexuality, society, culture. I feel like that makes us who we are, and we are going way too far past that. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get back to doing this podcast. So yeah, now I know you guys are aware of what's happening in the world with COVID-19 and with the isolation and with just so many different things changing in society and just changing right before our eyes. Life is not what it used to be. It's totally different. And, I feel like one of the things that I had to learn from a very young age, whether that was because of my weight, I used to be 269 pounds, and it wasn't the best experience. And I mean, I can laugh about it now, but obviously back then, I was teased a lot, I was bullied a lot. And for me, self-love was kind of like one of the biggest battles that I had to learn for myself. I had to just learn how to be there for myself, especially then when I lost my best friend at 16. I feel like that really just pushed me into a space of having to really, really, really love myself and also call on an outer source for help, which is God. And it's interesting because the other day I posted on my Instagram, and I'm going to just pull this up really quickly. I said, start listening to that small voice more. Tune into it and make it loud. Form a relationship with it. For a true relationship with self ignites a true relationship with God. And, basically I have to live that every day because, too many a time we block that true relationship with God because we actually don't understand ourselves. And for me, how I see it is, if we are made in the image of God, then I have to love God just as much as I love myself. And vice versa. You know what I mean? It kind of goes hand in hand. And I feel like the more you learn about this, the more you learn about yourself, sorry, the more you learn, what you like, what you don't like, the more you learn how to love yourself and be at one with yourself and know how to just really spend time with yourself. It opens up that portal almost to really connect with your higher source, which is God. And it's just funny because I feel like so many of us walk around, and me at one point, with a false identity, or you're connecting with false sources, and you still kind of want to get the best out of life, and it's kind of like you can't, because you're not even connecting with the vessel that God has given you on this earth. So for me, self-love is very important, and I feel like it just stretches so far. It's very vast for me. It's not just about relationships. It's the very vibration that keeps us together. It's that attraction that keeps us connected, that up to now we still can't explain. Well, we think we can, but we're on our way there. So yeah, I just wanted to really talk to you guys about self-love, because I do think it's the way forward, and it's the way out of getting yourself out of just toxic situations, anxiety, and allowing yourself to be that true being, that light that you are, so that you can shine and you can just live life. And as I said, like everything that I'm saying to you, I'm also saying to myself, yeah? Because I'm learning just as much as you're learning, and I'm willing to learn just as much as I hope you are willing to learn. Yeah, 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 yeah. So just before I carry on, I just want to read a quote that I have here, which I think is really nice. Yeah. Self-love will heal you, empower you, restore you, and open up new worlds within you and all around you. Self-love is the key to your mental, spiritual, and emotional health. And I feel like I don't even need to explain that anymore, because it's all there in one little code. Yeah, guys, self love is the way, legit, is the answer to all your questions. All of them. And I'm going to prove that to you. And if you already wait, what I'm trying to say? And if that's been proven to you already, then babes, we are on this journey together, right? So one of the things that I love to do, just because I just want to leave you guys with some tips as well. One of the things that I love to do to really build my self-love up and my confidence up, is to really just tell myself something positive. And I know, as cheeky and as small as it may seem, I feel like you need to get to the place where you can wake up, look yourself in the mirror and say, listen, you are amazing. You are loved. You are magnificent. You are fabulous. You are everything. You are everything. Because ain't nobody else gonna tell you that. You have to tell yourself that first. You have to believe that first. And every time you walk out the door, or you walk out the store, make sure you exit and enter with confidence. You know what I mean? Make yourself feel good. If I was to tell you right now, smile and laugh and jump and spin, even if you felt sad at some point, you would still start to feel the energy shift, because that's who we are. We're energetic beings. Yeah? So always tell yourself something positive every day. And even if it's not one thing, multiple things. Gas yourself up. Gas, gas, gas. Next thing, lovely people, is something that I always actually talk about. And I think also with these podcasts, as well as, by the way, guys, so as much as I'm doing this podcast, I'm also doing vlogs on YouTube. So some of them will be similar in information or information, but I think the podcast just allows me to just speak a lot more, and you guys could just sit back, listen whenever you want to, whether You just drinking some water, some wine. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe at the gym working out. I feel like it's all positive vibes, and we're gonna just use as much platforms to spread those vibes because that is what we need. Um, so this next point, though, getting back to my next point, something that I always talk about is we need to be careful and we need to be very mindful of the things that we put into our bodies. For what we put into our bodies is what we feed our minds, and then what we feed our minds is what we think. So if you're gonna eat KFC, yeah, and you're gonna eat fried chicken, yeah, and you're gonna eat like the worst things ever, then that is why it's so hard for you to get up and want something out of life. Because what you're putting into your body doesn't want you. You understand? It doesn't want you, love. Eat proper foods. I've been vegan. I've been vegan for the past 2 years, and that in itself has been an entire journey, not just physically, but also uh, mentally and spiritually. Because and you will learn if you guys are vegan already, or if you try ever, or if you do diets, you would learn when you detach yourself from things like food, something that is like food. I think food is like probably one of the most like addictive thing that human beings just always want. Food, and I don't know what was after that. But food, fam. When you can detach yourself from food, you learn to detach yourself from so many other things. Because as soon as we came into this world, we were made to believe that we were here to eat. But we are not here to eat. We eat to be here and to live. Yeah? And when you see it differently, you start to respect food, and the food respects you. Um, so I would advise you guys to just like be very mindful of what you eat. And I'm not like trying to force you to change your lifestyle or do what I do, but I can only tell you what works from my experience and from what I know. When you eat healthy foods, your spirit is also going to be healthy. You understand? Something else that I also want to mention about self-love. Um, and I guess this is something that we could also elaborate on either. Actually, right now, why not? You see, your mental health. Your mental health is so important, and I believe, and I know rather, this year mental health has been like pretty much like the top of the list in terms of like awareness and things that have been brought to light. Um, and that's because of the living conditions that we have. Guaning, that's not an actual word, guys, but I always say it. That's because of the living conditions that we have to experience right now. With this whole COVID-19 isolation, anxiety, your mental health is so important. Both female and male, which is why self-love is important, and treating yourself is important. Taking nice bath, warm baths, taking a walk, watching your favorite movie or favorite film, something constructive, please. Don't let it be garbage. But doing things like whatever it is that you want someone to do for you, learn to do it for yourself first. Yeah? Because when you love yourself, when you love yourself, everyone else is going to get the overflow. You are already filled, so they're going to get the overflow. Yeah? So, saying all this to say your mental health, don't believe everything that you think. And I know I personally struggle with this, being overweight and just being teased about certain things. I'm also putting my own self down. I started to think a lot of different things about myself that wasn't true. And it's one of the hardest battles to get over. And I'm happy where I'm at right now. And I'm still doing it every day because we know, like, oops, sorry. I'm still doing it every day because we know it's a journey. Like, you just don't hop up one day and you're fabulous. You are fabulous continuously. I don't know what I meant by that, but you get me. Yeah, is one of the battles. Is one of the hardest battles I had to put up with, um, and something that I had to actually bring my consciousness and awareness more to. Because it's very real, especially in this time with social media. You know, you go online, you pick up your phone, and you see something. You're like, oh my god, I wish I could, I would, I shoulda. And I always have to remind myself, like, social media is not real. It's not my reality. It's not the reality that I wake up to. You know, and even as a kid growing up, I felt like something just feels wrong about this world. Like something just feels wrong. And as I got more and more into social media and got more and more engaged in social media, I realized why not just me, but so many of my peers found it hard to just be and to just be yourself. It's because you're going online and you're not even seeing yourself. We are all individuals and we need to be our own individualistic selves like each and every day. Yeah. So guys, like really don't let your thoughts get to you. And with that also make sure you check up on yourself, your mental health, make sure you have the right energy around you. Make sure that your friends are on your vibe. Make sure that your friends are on your vibe. And talking about vibe, I'm going to shout out Vibe 25, my babes, Megan Michael, because I love her. She's amazing. And she also inspired and motivated me to get my ass up and just do this podcast. She didn't tell me to do anything. It's just, she's my friend. And I honestly do believe we'll be friends forever. We just have like that type of connection. And I am so pleased and happy with all that she's doing, all that you're doing, because you're probably going to listen. And please continue to shine your light, babes. And I cannot wait to do a podcast with you. So yeah, much love. Guys, listen, please excuse all of my theatrical moments. Yeah. It just brings a lot of good energy, so just accept it as it comes. Yes, people. Listen, I am gonna roll out. Oh, and by the way, something that I want to talk about. I remember going back to how I actually started this podcast. I was talking about the reasons why I started about, or just me talking about what the case may be. I remember someone who told me once after I had released the podcast, they were just like, why, everything you said was nice, whatever the case, but why you feel like podcast is something you want to do, like, or do you think you're of age, you haven't the right experience? And I remember at that time, they were a lot older than me. And I remember at that time, I was just like, I gave it thought and it made so much sense. But then it still didn't make any sense. Because in my mind, I'm just like, but I know what I've been through. Yeah, I know what I've been through. I know what I do to get myself to where I am every day. And, saying all this to say, like, using these platforms, YouTube, podcasts, music, whatever it is not about trying to, and it should have never been, I think that's the false truth of social media. It's not about being perfect. It's about, just learning and growing and forming that real connection with people and showing them that life is a journey and it just don't happen just like that. And I'm so happy that I have the confidence now to start, and also the time, because I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I've also been doing so many other different things, and I think finding that rhythm took a bit for me. But we're gonna talk more about that stuff, and I just love sharing with you guys. So please listen. I'm gonna end this now because clearly I can talk a lot, but I'm gonna end it now, and I just want to send you love and light. You know how we do it. We're keeping it light, we're keeping it blessed, and we're keeping it positive. Yeah, much love. Take care of yourself, and remember, you owe yourself the love that you freely give to other people. You deserve every bit. Peace.